got Virginia and Georgia Tech as we move to Thursday night football here in college football. Georgia Tech 3-point home favorites, 45.5 the total in this game. And yes, that's Georgia Tech favored, something that we have not seen at any point this season. You look at their results so far. Actually, they were favored against Western Carolina, but again, against an FBS team, they have not been favored until this game against Virginia. Of course, and look, we've got to suddenly acknowledge that Georgia Tech, since the coaching change and the firing of Jeff Collins, since then they've won 2 in a row outright as underdogs, beating Pitt 26-21 as 21.5-point dogs, and then Duke 23-20 a couple weeks ago as 3.5-point dogs. So it's been solid for this Georgia Tech team. They're off a bye. So is Virginia, but Virginia going into the bye playing very bad football. Tony Elliott looking like he is just not the right man for the job here at Virginia. It's not been good. The defense has been just ripped apart in each of the last 2 losses they suffered to Louisville and Duke. The offense, you know what? I think it's just a bad fit. You've got Brennan Armstrong, this pretty good passing quarterback. They aired it out a ton last year when Robert Anae was the offensive coordinator, and it was a great fit for what Armstrong does best. Now, this year, the problem is they're trying to run the football more. They don't have the O-line that run blocks very well. The O-line isn't as good as it was last year, and the receiving core ain't as good either, but they're trying to force this run game down everybody's throat, and that's not, I think, a good fit with what Brennan Armstrong does. So it's just been a complete mess for Virginia. The defense has been bad. Like I say, I think there's just some chemistry issues with the offense this year with the change in philosophy and the change in scheme, and obviously coach and coordinator are brand new. So I think it's just been a real mess. I'd actually lean to Georgia Tech here. Am I excited to lay a field goal with them for a team that hasn't been favored yet this year against an FBS team? No, but I don't know if I can get there with Virginia. It's a bad football team right now, and at least with Georgia Tech, we've seen some life from them and a little bit of a beacon, if you will, of light following the coaching change. And 2 wins in a row, both outright as underdogs since the firing of Jeff Collins. So hard to step in front of that, especially in a near pick 'em price range like this. What are you thinking about this ACC matchup here, Connor?
Yeah, lastly, I forgot to mention on that Georgia State, their last 7 on the road, 7-1 ATS too.
Yes,
pitching that 10.
Good road
forgot
team.
to mention it. Yeah, this is one I'm probably not going to get involved with, like you were talking about. There's just been a problem with Armstrong from last year to slinging it around to nothing. He threw for 30-13, but they got down kind of early against Louisville, and they had to throw it. So I don't know much here with Virginia. They backdoor covered against Syracuse. I don't know what to make of this team, but the other side, I can't lay it with Georgia Tech. Yes, they won a couple games, and what the big key is? What do we get from Sims? The good, the bad. We talk about with some of these quarterbacks, Cunningham, some of these guys, he's very athletic. If he's clean, like he was the other day, 227, 2 scores, he ran for 95, boom, they win that game against Duke. I don't know about in this one, but they've been looking better. But now that they lay 4, I just can't do it. So this is in the end, I'm probably just going to stay off. I kind of lean Virginia, but I need more. I haven't seen enough. So it's probably a game I'm just going to stay away from here.